Hello everybody, John Griswold back here again with another video, and today I bring you a very special, different kind of video. Seeing as how, we're getting closer and closer to the DC Cinematic Universe, and we're kind of reaching the end of, I want to say the end of Phase 2 and beginning of Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I wanted to talk more about what I expect and want to see out of these characters. And starting with the DC Cinematic Universe, I want to talk about what I want to see happen with the new Ben Affleck Batman series, or Batfleck series, if you don't want to call it that way. But I wanted to do this earlier last year, but seeing as how there were so many things that were going on, not to mention the whole Flash and Arrow thing, it was kind of hard to make these videos. But now that I have some free time, I thought, why not just do it? And what better character to start off than Batman? He's my favorite character, of course, and he's one of the biggest things that I'm most looking forward to with Dawn of Justice and the rest of the movies in the cinematic universe. But anyways, for this specific video, I'm going to be just talking about various specific things that I want to see out of the new Batman franchise with Ben Affleck's version of Batman, and some qualities that I want to see out of his character, and just talk about what I just overall want to see and want to have in this new franchise. Now, I will not be including any characters that have already been presented, and I'm just going to be giving you, the overall obvious statements of what we already know about Ben Affleck's Batman. Now, we know that this version of Batman is a seasoned Batman. He's definitely full into his career, a good 10 to 20 years possibly. And Ben Affleck's version is roughly, if I'm not mistaken, his early to mid 40s. So that's kind of interesting. So we have a good general outline of what we can expect to see outside of Batman. So let's say that if he is in his early to mid 40s, we can expect to see more Batman relatable type of stuff for the next 10 to 20 years possible, in the realism of the movies, of course. So that being said, let's just name off some characters / actors that are already obviously playing the characters that already exist in this new Bat universe. First off, obviously Ben Affleck's playing Batman. We have Jeremy Irons playing Alfred. We have possibly Jenna Malone, could be possibly playing Carrie Kelly. Robin, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's alleged. And we have Jared Leto as the Joker. We have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. We have Will Smith as Deadshot / Floyd Lawton. And we have Viola Davis as Amanda Waller and stuff like that. So that's generally the characters of the Batman universe that we have now. Now, first off, let me get into Ben Affleck's version of Batman and what I want to see out of his version of Batman in this new franchise. First off, I really want to see Ben Affleck's version of Batman to have this new Batman to have an inner monologue. The great thing about Batman in the comic books is that we finally get to know what Batman's thinking in every single moment. Every single time you read a Batman comic book, the little boxes is what he's saying in his head at that exact moment. Whenever he's fighting or doing some detective work or having some real life experience with, whether it be with Alfred or Robin or Catwoman or whatever, we know what he's thinking inside his head as he's talking to them. So we get the full, landscape of how Batman sees things and how he sees the world and how it truly is to him. So that's what I really want to see out of this version of Batman. And we've never really gotten that from the movies, where it be the old franchise or the new franchise. We've never gotten it, and I really want to see this new Batman get that. And I think it could be possible and could very well work, because a lot of people like to say that not everything from the comic books could be done, but it's already been done. If you go back and watch the movie Sherlock Holmes, the Robert Downey Jr. version, that's an epic, badass movie. I'm pretty sure everyone can sit down and say, that was a pretty epic and badass movie. The great thing about that is that he has an inner monologue when he's doing his detective work, which is awesome, and what a Batman movie should be. There's a specific scene, no spoilers if you've not seen the movie, but if you go back and see it, there's a specific scene where he's having a bare-knuckle box with some dude, and Sherlock is obviously, right before he attacks his opponent, he's plotting out what he's about to do against his opponent and you get to see it in real time afterwards. And that's just awesome. And that's what I want to see out of Batman. I'm not saying that, for the duration of 2 hours of the movie, we have to be in, freaking Ben Affleck's head all the time. But let's just say for a quick scene, whoever he's fighting against, whether it be Bane or the Joker or whoever the fuck, let's just say that he's about to fight or do some detective work. It would just be awesome if we finally get a good inner monologue as he's about to attack. That's what I personally want to see happen, and I just think it would just be badass. Secondly, I want to see some more detective work out of this version of Batman. We've never really gotten a big detective version of Batman, and at the end of the day, Batman, he's the world's greatest detective, and we really never got to see that. We kind of got to see it a little bit in Chris Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, a little bit, but overall, I want there to be good, really extensive scenes of him doing some classic, legitimate detective work without, any major technology helping him or whatever. Just him using his brain to solve problems. That's what I really want to see, and I think it would just be pretty badass to see that. Thirdly, what I really want to see out of this new Ben Affleck's version, I want to see some epic fights. Granted, Batman through the years has had some fucking awesome fights through the history of the movies, and that Batman versus Bane fight is pretty epic, but I want to see something more of a global epic fight. Now, granted, we might end up seeing that in Batman v Superman, but I want to see more of that throughout the franchise. Batman in the comic books has epic fights. He's a brawler, he's a world expert martial artist. He knows his shit. And I want to see what they did with Captain America done with, freaking Batman. That's what I want to see. If you go back and watch The Winter Soldier, once again, spoilers if you've never seen it, but the first fight that he has in The Winter Soldier between Cap and, GSP, that fight is epic. And it's just full on them two just brawling it out and just kicking the shit out of each other in a epic fist fight. That's what I want to see. And plus, we've never really got to see that from Batman. We never got to see some epic brawls that feel like they last forever. Once again, we did kind of see that with Batman versus Bane, and we might end up seeing that with Batman versus Superman, but I just want to see that consistently through a Batman movie. Not all the time, but just have really good fights, not just one fight and then the rest is just talking and no Batman. I want to see a good epic fight at least, 3 times, every, half an hour. Just the way they did in Winter Soldier, I want to see that in Batman. That's what I want to see. And lastly, what I want to see out of Ben Affleck's version of Batman is a different type of voice. No offense to Christian Bale's Batman voice, but, God, it's just, I just want to hear Kevin Conroy. Once again, it's hard to do that because, obviously, Ben Affleck will definitely do his own version, but I just want to have that kind of version of Batman in my head. When I hear it, it's just better. That's more of a nitpicky thing, but overall, those are kind of the major qualities as to what I want to see out of Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman in the new Batman franchise. Now, granted, you can't really accomplish everything with the movies from the comic books, but then again, we might actually get that. We already know that that movie studios nowadays can be very close to the source material and make awesome epic movies. Just see what they did with the X-Men franchise, see what they're doing with Captain America, see what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure they can do that with Superman and Batman. So I just want to see a very comic book Batman, and based off how Ben Affleck looks in the movie, if you look at his various costumes, he looks like comic book Batman. So I want to see comic book Batman franchise. That's what I want to see. Of course, there'll be things changed along the way, from the source material. But overall, I just want to see a comic book Batman finally presented to me the way we've never seen before. And that's not me, of course, bashing the pre-existing franchise. Just, I want to see, classic, real comic book Batman. Nevertheless, let's move off of that and get into some Batman villains that I want to see presented in this new franchise. First off, I want to see Hush. I think he's an amazing character, and I really want to see him presented in this new franchise. Red Hood would also be a very epic character to go against Batman. Poison Ivy, I really want to see Granted, she may not be the greatest Batman villain, but I think it's finally time for her to have some justice done to her. I mean, like, the Batman and Robin thing kind of killed it, and Poison Ivy is way more of a greater character than how she was presented in Batman and Robin, mind you, so I really want to see her finally get her dues in this new franchise. Fourth, Riddler. The Riddler is an amazing character, and I freaking want to see the Riddler finally presented in a good, gritty, realistic kind of way. And lastly, Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is an amazing character and one of my favorite Batman villains. And I just think he would work with Ben Affleck's Batman. It would just look so cool to see them two go at it together. And, once again, just like the Poison Ivy thing, Mr. Freeze needs justice done to him based off the Arnold Schwarzenegger abomination. All the freeze pun, the ice puns. Oh god, this is just killing me. But overall, those are Batman villains that I really want to see, that I think could work with this new franchise and could coexist with the storylines and story arcs that I'm about to name that I want to see. Anyways, in the comment section below, let me know what kind of Batman villains that you want to see presented in this new franchise. But overall, those are the main top 5 villains that I want to see. Moving off of that, Batman characters that I really want to see in this new Batman franchise. The Robins, of course. I really want to see the Robins. Now, once again, Jenna Malone could be possibly playing Carrie Kelly Robin, but it hasn't been confirmed. It's still alleged. It's still a rumor. And some people are confirming that she is in the movie. She isn't in the movie. She is playing Carrie Kelly. She isn't playing Carrie Kelly. She is Robin. She isn't Robin. So it's all alleged. But overall, I just want to see the Robins. I want to. If it's Batman into his history, this is him in his 40s. He's already existed in the DC universe, in the Man of Steel universe for some time. It just makes sense if he has a Bat family. It just does not make sense if there isn't. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if you did 40s Batman, Bruce Wayne, and the new Batman movie, he meets Robin for the first time. It's just weird and awkward and doesn't make sense. It just makes sense if he's had Robins in the past. And based off supposed rumors, there are Jason Todd references in the Batman v Superman movie, and not to mention the possibility of seeing Jason Todd's Robin costume lit up in a Hall of Fame kind of capsule, kind of similar to how we've seen in previous media. So it could be possible that the Robins have existed, but personally, I want them to. I want to see Jason Todd exist. Tim Drake exists, possible Damian Wayne, Carrie Kelly, hell, even Stephanie Brown. I want those characters to have existed within, this version of Batman in the movie. Anyways, moving on to that, Dick Grayson, Nightwing, of course. Nightwing is a badass character, and I love him to death. He's an amazing version of what, Dick Grayson should have been and have gone towards, where he started off as Robin, and then he went and started being his own character, and then it just opens up a whole bunch of debate and various versions of Batman storylines that we can go, because if you have Dick Grayson Nightwing and an old Batman, that could open up the possibility of, maybe Dick Grayson can take up the mantle and he can become the new Batman. So I think it's great if we have Nightwing exist in this new franchise, and he's just a character that I want to see in a live-action version. Granted, TNT is doing a pilot of a show titled Titans, and the leading role will be Nightwing. So we are going to get a Nightwing in live-action, whether it be TV or movies. But just for the sake of the argument, I want to see Nightwing in the movies. Anyways, moving off of that, thirdly, I want to see Catwoman. You guys already know I love Catwoman. She's one of my favorite Batman characters of all time, and I just want her to be a supporting character. I don't like what the movies have done with the character of Catwoman, and that's not me trying to bash the incarnations. I like Michelle Pfeiffer. I think she did an amazing job. I like Anne Hathaway, but I just don't like how they never really did her, justice the way she could be. She's a supporting Batman character, but in the movies, she's always played off as the crazy girlfriend who could be, possibly in love with Bruce Wayne, and then finds out that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and then, you know what, screw it, you know, she's just gonna leave at the end. You know, that's just bullshit and lousy writing, and I just want Catwoman in the comic books is a consistent supporting character, and she always crosses the line between anti-hero and villain, and that's what I want to see. You know, I want to see the love triangle between her and Bruce Wayne and Batman, and how that just goes together very well. And finally, I just want her to be a supporting character. I want to see her in multiple movies. I don't want to see, like, okay, here's the one movie, we finally see Catwoman, awesome, and then in the end, it's like, yeah, we never see her again. No, I want her to be just like a Robin, or, you know, Commissioner Gordon, or freaking Alfred. I want her to be a supporting character who's always by Batman's side. I'm not saying she has to be a sidekick, just a supporting love interest / character. That's what I want to see. Anyways, moving on for that, Vicky Vale. That's another character I really want to see, for the same kind of reasons for Catwoman, but for the sake of the argument, let's say that Warner Brothers does not do Catwoman again, which more than likely they won't, but then again, you know, they need to. But if they don't do that, Vicky Vale I really want to see. I mean, for those of you who are, like, not familiar with the character, she was obviously in '89 Batman. She was the main love interest for Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne in that movie. And also in the comic book, she's kind of a love interest and sometimes love interest to Bruce Wayne and reporter. She's kind of like Batman's version of Lois Lane, essentially, except that she, you know, has been changed over the years from time to time. But overall, she's, you know, sometimes Bruce Wayne's love interest, and that could be open up once again some more fucking plot points to Batman's fucking movies. You know, you have a love triangle between Catwoman, Vicky Vale, fucking hell, maybe even Talia, you know, a whole bunch of other chicks, and then Batman. What I'm trying to get at is that I want to have Batman love interest awesomeness. That's what I want. I'm just saying. More Catwoman, but if you don't get Catwoman, Vicky Vale is possibly my second, you know, pick. Anyways, moving on for that, my ending supporting Batman character that I want to see in this new franchise is Barbara Gordon, Batgirl / Oracle. Granted, same thing with the Robins and the Nightwing. It just makes sense that if she's existed. Granted, we already know that Commissioner Gordon does exist in this new franchise. It has been hinted that allegedly Commissioner Gordon is dead in this new franchise. But does that mean the same thing for his existing family? It's possible that Barbara Gordon's alive, but is she Batgirl, or is she Oracle, or is she, like, have nothing to do with Batman? It has yet to be presented, but as of right now, as I'm making this video, I want to see either one of two versions of Barbara Gordon, which is A, Batgirl, or B, Oracle. Granted, if this is like a early to mid 40s Batman, more than likely she will end up being Oracle, but either way, I just want to see Barbara Gordon. Anyways, moving off of that, before I end this video, I want to specifically talk about some top Batman storyline / story arcs that I want to see presented. Now, granted, Ben Affleck, as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, has a 4-movie picture deal with Warner Brothers and DC, which is, of course, Batman v Superman, Justice League Part 1 and 2, and the solo Batman movie. Now, granted, if any of these movies are amazing, or at least remotely close to amazing, and we get more Batman movies, we could expect possibly the same thing that happened with majority of Batman movies. That with Ben Affleck, he'll probably want to continue doing other types of projects and possibly end up directing more movies. So I want to see at least 3 to 4 Batman movies with Ben Affleck. That's what I want to see happen. Granted, will we have any involvement with any of them? It's as yet to be, you know, presented. We all know he's doing at least one solo movie, but I at least want to see 3 to 4. That's my kind of hopes and dreams for that. And I also want him to possibly write and direct a Batman movie. Whether it be the first one or any of the sequels, I just really want to see Ben Affleck direct a comic book Batman movie, and he's the star of it. He's Batman. That would just be, you know, just the icing on the cake. It would just be awesome. But nevertheless, here are some story arcs that I really want to see presented in the new franchise. Number 1, Hush. The Hush storyline is one of my personal favorite Batman storylines that has ever been presented in the comic books. And if you've not seen or read the book, then go pick it up, go check it out. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But overall, if you've seen the image of Batman and Catwoman, then you already know the general gist of the storyline. Of course, it's mostly a Tommy Elliott Hush / Bruce Wayne Batman story, but on top of it is a very extensive, serious take on the relationship between Batman, his Bat family, and specifically Catwoman. Now, granted, that also goes together with some of the villains I picked, and also some of the characters, like Catwoman and the Robins. And that's one of the main reasons as to why I picked the Hush storyline. I think it's an amazing story, and whenever I read it and look at it, I just think of the Batman-Catwoman relationship and how it kind of has that ambiguous kind of ending where it's just like, it's kind of a little bit anticlimactic, but it also opens up the possibilities of a whole bunch of different issues, like, which have been presented in the franchise before, like, Batman or Bruce Wayne trying to come together with terms with the people he keeps close to him, and whether or not he should share his personal feelings and identity to those people, like the Robins or Nightwing, and especially Catwoman. So that's kind of something that I really want to go with, and I really hope they do. Secondly, another story arc / movie that I want to see is Under the Hood, or Under the Red Hood, whichever you want to go with. It was a specific DC Universe animated movie that came out, and if you've watched it, then you know how epic that story arc is. It's basically takes place post Death in the Family, where Jason Todd, the second Robin, dies and is resurrected and becomes the new Red Hood, and basically takes revenge against Batman for essentially not avenging his death. And it's an amazing, depressing as hell storyline that is, of course, just great for Batman storytelling. So I think it would be awesome to just have that, and also goes together with other points I pointed out, which is, of course, Hush storyline, Red Hood, character, Batman villain being presented. That's something I really want to see. Anyways, moving off of that, Death of the Family. We all know Jared Leto is the fucking Joker. He's the new Joker. Now, does that mean he's going to do multiple movies? Probably not. Granted, this is what I would want to see, and possibly would be realistic that would happen. First off, he's going to have a reference in Batman v Superman. That has been hinted and is rumored, but more than likely going to happen. He will be possibly the main villain in the Suicide Squad movie, and will possibly, it hasn't been confirmed, but could possibly end up being the main villain of a Batman movie. It's only inevitable because, of course, Warner Brothers love doing Batman versus Joker movies. They just love doing it. They did a great job before, and of course they're going to continue doing it. Now, should they do that right away? Probably not. Once again, if, like I said, if they did a 3 to 4 movie deal with Ben Affleck as Batman in a Batman solo movie franchise, then you have the possibility of doing Joker like in the 2nd to 3rd movie, which I would expect to happen. And plus, Jared Leto, he's his own kind of guy. He wants to do other types of projects, I'm pretty sure. And of course, he has his own band. He's obviously going to tour around the world and do his own thing. So of course, you have a limited time to use Jared Leto's Joker. So that's how I kind of see it. He's the main villain of Suicide Squad. He does maybe some cameos here and there, and then he's the main villain. Like, think of Tom Hiddleston's Loki. Think of that. Jared Leto does the same thing with the Joker. That's how I expect to happen. That's just what I see. And plus, the Death of the Family storyline is amazing. If you've not read it, definitely check it out. It's an amazing read, and I think it would be amazing to basically film that and present it as a Batman movie. It would just be kick-ass if they did that. Nevertheless, moving off of that, another storyline that I want to pick out is Heart of Ice. It's, of course, based off the animated series episode Heart of Ice. It's just one of the most depressing but epic storylines between Batman and Mr. Freeze. It's definitely one of the main episodes that put the animated series on the map as a real legitimate series. And it's just a great freaking story. It's just one of the greatest Mr. Freeze stories of all time. And once again, Mr. Freeze, one of my favorite characters, and I want to see him. I want to see that movie. That's just what I want to see. Anyways, lastly but not least, Batman Beyond. I know. Ben Affleck is the Batman, and Batman Beyond is its own thing, and it's kind of hard to do, but hear me out. First off, Ben Affleck's Batman is old. He's fucking in his 40s, and like I said, you have at least a good 10 to 20, possible even 20 years of him still being Batman in the Batman universe. So obviously he's going to get old as hell to the point he can't be Batman anymore. So why not end the Ben Affleck Batman franchise with a Batman Beyond movie and then start a whole new franchise with the new Batman? You know, Ben Affleck, he's old, like in the last movie, let's just say for the sake of the argument, he's old as hell. He's trying to be Batman, but he's just way too old. He's past his prime. He's just in his 80s to 90s. He's about to die or something. And he's like, kind of like the Ant-Man movie. You know, he's looking for someone to take up the mantle. Dick Grayson is being Nightwing. He doesn't want to do it. You know, Damian Wayne is dead or whatever. I don't know. The Robins, maybe they don't exist. Maybe they do exist. We don't know. But granted, he needs a new Batman. And that's where Terry McGinnis comes in. And he's the new fucking Batman. And he's a completely different, more outrageous, more cool Batman. And I don't know. Once again, I'm a huge fan of the animated series, and I just want to see a Batman Beyond movie. And I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of other fans out there also want to see a Batman Beyond movie. And that, I think, would be a great reboot for a new Batman franchise that connects to the old Batman franchise. So that's just kind of how I see it. But overall, let me know in the comment section below what you personally think. I'm going to end this video right here because I think I've rambled enough. But essentially, I love the Batman franchise and I love the DC universe. And I hope and wish that the DC Cinematic Universe does not fail us. Now, granted, not every movie may be epic and amazing, but at least I hope the new Ben Affleck Batman franchise is more just epic and amazing than what we've gotten before. And that's not me bashing the predecessors. It's just that we finally and hopefully are getting a chance to finally see a comic book Batman. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, go look up at Ben Affleck's Batman costume. That looks like Jim Lee, Frank Miller, Scott Snyder, like put together and presented to us. And that's what I want to see. And that's what I want to see out of this new universe. I want to see these characters. I want to see these villains. I want to see these aspects. And I want to see these story arcs. But obviously, everyone has a different point of opinion and point of view. So in the comment section below, let me know what you personally think. What kind of Batman villains do you want to see? What kind of Batman supporting characters do you want to see? What aspects do you think Ben Affleck should take in his Batman performance? Granted, the movie's pretty much done, so we can already expect, you know, his version of Batman in Dawn of Justice. But I'm just saying for the sake of, you know, solo Batman movies. And of course, what type of Batman story arcs do you want to see presented in the new franchise? Anyways, that's going to end this right here. Let me know in the comment section about what you thought overall about this video. Of course, I'll be doing more videos like this talking about other Batman, well, not Batman, but other superheroes in the DC Cinematic Universe, you know, like Wonder Woman and Flash and Green Lantern and stuff like that. I will only be specifically talking about their specific solo movies and what they should be, not team movies, you know, like Suicide Squad or Justice League and stuff like that. So I won't be talking about those type of projects, just the solo movies. So more than likely, my next take will be Wonder Woman, so be on the lookout for that. But overall, let me know what you personally thought about this in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. I hope everyone has enjoyed, and this has been John 12, and I really want to see Ben Affleck's version have aspects of everything I talked about, and the new franchise, the new Batfleck franchise, that have aspects of everything I just said. That's just my hopes and dreams, but let me know what you personally think. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.